Buddhism. Sutra spoken by Buddha on the way of 10 meritorious deeds. Different ways of thinking lead sentient beings to different kinds of action, which in turn subjects them to rebirth in different states of existence. Now, Your Majesty, do you notice the variety of forms, colors, and species in this congregation and in the sea? Are they not different from one another? Now, all these variations are due to the mind, which is responsible for our bodily, oral, and mental acts of either meritorious or demeritorious nature. As to the mind itself, it is immaterial, unknowable, and ungraspable. It is nothing but a collection of phenomena, transient and delusive by nature. Categorically, things have no absolute existence of their own, and there is neither a self nor concomitance of a self. In accordance with their karma, deeds, things appear in various forms, but positively there is no creator at the back of them. Hence, all dharmas, things and phenomena, are above speech and concept, and their very own nature is phantom-like. Realizing this, the wise perform, as they ought to, meritorious deeds, and by doing so, they attain their birth, skandhas, aggregates, ayatanas, sphere of meeting or basis of consciousness, and dhatus, elements of noble nature, and they are pleasing to the eye of those who look at them. Now, Your Majesty, when you look at the body of a Buddha, begotten by 100,000 kotis of meritorious and virtuous deeds, you notice that every part of it is in magnificent form. Its splendor outshines that of the assembly. Again, please look at the Mahasattvas present here. How elegant and pure are their magnificent forms. This is due solely to the performance of good deeds. Again, look at the 8 species of devas, nagas, etc. All of them are powerful and influential beings, and their favorite birth is also due to the merit of their good deeds. Your Majesty, you should understand thoroughly the law of cause and effect, and as a rule, practice good deeds. Make this your constant study and practice, and make all sentient beings to do likewise. Toward the bhikshus, literally the fields of merit, respect them, feed them, and rejoice at their holiness. For doing so, you are now respected by men and devas who make offerings to you. Your Majesty, we should know this. There is one way for the Bodhisattva to annihilate all sufferings of evil existence. What is this one way? It is this: from day to night, remember constantly the meritorious dharmas. Think of them and make observations on them, so that their impression becomes stronger and stronger in the mind. and not the least evil thought can have a chance to mingle therein. Such a practice will enable one to free oneself forever from evil deeds, to complete the work of meritorious dharmas, and to have frequent opportunities to be in the presence of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and other holy persons for their teaching. Now, why are they called meritorious dharmas? Because they are fundamental religious duties, by practicing which all men, devas, arhats, Pratyekabuddhas, and supremely enlightened Buddhas attain their respective fruits. Therefore they are called meritorious dharmas. These meritorious dharmas are 10 meritorious deeds. What are they? They are abstinence forever from killing, stealing, unchaste conduct, lying, slandering, harsh language, frivolous talk, covetousness, anger, and heretical views. These 10 meritorious deeds will lead us to master completely the dharmas. All men and devas maintain their footing upon these 10 meritorious ways, which form the principal base of all merits. Therefore, all of you should practice them diligently. The Imperial Edict of Emperor Yongzheng. All the three teachings, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, have the capacity to help people be enlightened in China, because all three teachings derive from the same original source. Their teachings run parallel to each other, thus they do not conflict each other. It is only when people do not have thorough understanding that their mind becomes unclear and they have differences of opinion. The Taoists think Taoism is better than Buddhism, is less esteemed. The Buddhists say Taoism is not as great as Buddhism. The Confucians exclude them both and claim they are not correct. Thus they contradict and compete with each other, each aiming to dominate over the other two. But they only find themselves in a tight contest. Through practicing the discourse of the three teachings, I come to realize they are equally good, even though on the surface they appear to be different. The nature of their principles is the same. They all have the same purpose in mind, teaching and encouraging people to be good. The Buddhist teaching of the 5 precepts and the 10 virtuous leads people to goodness. The Confucian teaching of the 5 moral conducts and 100 ways also induce, give incentive, and persuade people to be good. Is there any sacred teaching that does not lead people to do the same? The 6 books of Chinese classics are to educate the mass population. However, if one hopes to elevate one's spiritual realm, one must use the Buddhist scriptures as the guide. If all my people can adhere to the teaching of Confucianism and Buddhism and become honest, down-to-earth, and good-natured, the country will be at peace, and I will have nothing more to worry about. If 10 people in a village of 100 families abide by the 5 precepts, we will have 10 people who are friendly, kind, honest, cautious, and respectful. In a region of 1,000 families, if 100 people abide by the 10 good conducts, we will have 100 people live in harmony. If we apply the same principle to the whole nation, where we may have 100 million of households, we will have millions of virtuous people living in harmony. If we can practice one good conduct, one less evil will be committed. One less evil conduct means the elimination of one punishment. If each family reduces the crime rate by 1, we can eliminate thousands and thousands of punishments. Yes, indeed. The country will be in peace, and your Highness can sit on your throne without any worry. Brahmanet Sutra. Do not commit deeds harmful to the country. Do not slander the leader of the country. Upasaka Precepts Sutra. Do not evade paying taxes. Do not violate the law. The Buddha speaks of the Infinite Life Sutra of adornment, purity, equality, and enlightenment of the Mahayana school. Their minds constantly attended on the way of delivering living beings. They were the unexpected friends of all manners of living beings. They treated all living beings as they were their own. Accumulate merits and virtues. He disregarded all kinds of suffering. He had little desire, but constant contentment. He constantly entertained compassion and forbearance for all sentient beings. With genial looks and kind words, he exhorted, consoled, and urged them forward. He respected the Triple Jewel. He attended on teachers and elders with veneration. He guarded well his oral deeds and never ridiculed others' faults. He guarded well his bodily deeds and never transgressed any precept. He guarded well his mental deeds and constantly kept himself pure and uncontaminated. He viewed all dharmas as change. He constantly dwelt on the samadhi of eternal stillness. They have brought forth the Bodhi heart and single-mindedly recite the name of Buddha Amitabha. Uphold the precepts and purify the mind. Whenever he has time, he should set his body and mind upright, cut off desire and discard worldly affliction, and have a compassionate heart and cultivate diligently. One should not get angry or jealous. One should be filial, uphold utmost sincerity, and be loyal and trustworthy. one should believe that doing good deeds would bring one great benefit. One should not be gluttonous or miserly. They are self-restrained and upright, and both their body and mind are pure and clean. People in this world, father and son, brother and brother, husband and wife, relatives, should respect and love each other. They should use gentle words and amiable facial expressions, and not defy and disobey others. You should choose to diligently cultivate good deeds. You should diligently devote yourself to cultivation. Do not let your mind control you. Do not fail in following the teaching of the sutras and precepts. So why not diligently cultivate good deeds when one is strong and capable? What is there to wait for? Respecting Buddha is a great virtue. You should be mindful of the Buddhas and cut off all suspicions. The proper way should be shown, and those who have not yet been delivered should be crossed over. You should determine to cleanse the defilement in your mind. Your words and conduct should be true and unwavering, and your outside should match up with your inside. We are now receiving the Buddha's clear admonitions, and we will diligently follow and practice them according to your teachings, and will not have any doubt. It is really a great virtue to guard your mind, correct your behavior, and not to commit numerous offenses in this world. If one can set one's body upright, then one should correct their mind and match their words with their conduct. Thus, what one does is strictly out of sincerity. Do good deeds and commit no evil offenses. Respect the sages and the virtuous. Be kind and compassionate to others. Your body and mind should be kept pure and clean, corresponding with wholesomeness. Do not let desires take control, nor commit any offense. Your words and expression should be amiable, and you should devote yourselves to cultivation. Your action and look should be stable and calm. You should concentrate on your compassionate conduct and purify yourself by upholding the precepts. You should be self-disciplined and behave in accordance with uprightness and decency. You should be joyous, compassionate, and filial. If what you have done violates the precepts, you should repent immediately. Evil should be shunned, and good should be followed. If a fault is discovered in the morning, it should be corrected before sunset. You should correct your past faults and follow present virtues. The foulness in your mind should be cleansed, and your conduct should be set straight. There is no lowliness in this person's mind, and he is not arrogant. For seeking this Dharma, one should not have a mind of regression and flattery. Be filial to the Buddha. Be constantly mindful of the kindness of the teacher. You should foster the great benefit and wholesomeness for rebirth into the Pure Land. Sutra on Generating the Supreme Aspiration of Bodhisattvas. Lecture on the Dharma using a variety of gentle and kind words and explanations to make the audience feel happy to hear it. When we meet monastics or lay people, those who practice according to the way of Bodhisattvas, we need to respect and believe in them, as they are the teachers. Do not see the faults of others. Do not draw attention to the faults of others. Avoid harsh language and miserliness. We should be rid of laziness. Avoid all confusing and agitating environments. Be serene and content. Do not pursue prestige or wealth. Propagate the proper teachings often and widely to others. Abide in the cultivation of purity and generate an awakened mind. Even a little effort wisely applied can benefit infinite beings. Vow to be focused and diligent in the chosen method of cultivation, and protect and support the proper teachings. Be comfortable and accord with proper conditions in whatever we do. Earnestly protect and support the proper teachings, even with one's life. Always be diligent in cultivation and do not pursue personal gain. Propagate and lecture on the Dharma for all people. Be good at teaching so as to inspire others. Let your mind be serene and gentle, and always be compassionate. Be supremely patient with all dharmas, but do not be attached to them. Do not crave personal gain or the respect of others. Instead, always keep a mind of purity and be filled with Dharma joy. Seek the supreme perfect enlightenment of a Buddha at all times and never forget. Esteem others and behave respectfully towards them without any disdain. Do not be attached to worldly learning and discussions. Generate the will to pursue the 7 factors of enlightenment. Plant good roots, avoid bad influences, and have a pure mind. Enjoy and always cultivate the wondrous practice of pure supreme karmas, deeds. We should avoid all bad karmas, deeds, and cultivate the supreme practice. Study, cultivate, and teach others with speech and by setting examples. We should learn from, be close to, and make offerings to bodhisattvas who diligently practice meditative concentration. Cultivate diligently for wisdom. Wise men will avoid any place where there are untruthful, unbeneficial words or disputes, as these will cause many afflictions. Believe deeply in cause and effect. Do not attach to excess sleeping or eating. No jealousy. Make offerings to the triple jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. For seeking supreme perfect enlightenment, we should never tire of learning or feel that we have learned enough of the Dharma. Do not see the faults of others or consider oneself to be superior. Arrogance and indulgence are the causes of negligence. Do not despise any being. Be awakened and feel ashamed for bad deeds. Be focused and diligent in the cultivation of concentration. Be compassionate to all beings and do not have even the thought of harming any of them. Be ashamed of and report all the bad deeds that have been committed. Practice diligently the paramita of patience and abide contentedly in patience. Be constantly mindful of impermanence and be cautious and do not indulge oneself. The cultivation guidelines for Pure Land School practitioners. The 3 conditions in the Visualization Sutra. The first condition, be filial and care for and provide for parents. Be respectful to and serve teachers. Be compassionate and do not kill. And cultivate the 10 virtuous deeds. The second condition, take the 3 refuges, abide by all precepts, and behave in a dignified and appropriate manner. The third condition, generate the Bodhi mind. Believe deeply in the law of cause and effect. Recite and uphold the Mahayana Sutras, and encourage others to advance on the path to enlightenment. The 6 harmonies. Harmony in having the same viewpoints, harmony in observing the same precepts, harmony in living together, harmony in speaking without conflict, harmony in experiencing Dharma bliss, harmony in sharing benefits. Do not cultivate the 3 defilements. Our every thought must avoid the 3 poisons and accord with purity, precepts, impartiality, meditative concentration, and proper understanding, wisdom. The 6 paramitas that bodhisattvas cultivate. Always cultivate the paramitas of giving, precept observation, patience, diligence, meditative concentration, and wisdom. teach and help all beings to abide in the way to supreme, perfect enlightenment. The 10 Great Vows of Samantabhadra. All Pure Land practitioners should respectfully cultivate the virtue of Samantabhadra. 1. Respect all Buddhas. 2. Praise Tathagata. 3. Make offerings extensively. 4. Repent karmic obstacles. 5. Rejoice at others' meritorious deeds. 6. Request the turning of the Dharma wheel. 7. Request the Buddha to remain in this world. 8. Constantly follow the Buddha's teachings. 9. Accommodate all sentient beings. And 10. Dedicate all merits universally. Emulate Samantabhadra and cultivate according to his great vows in thought after thought, endlessly and continuously, without ceasing. My body, speech, and mind will never tire of these deeds.